Billy Pew from the UK then. In the gate, getting ready to get us underway here at the UCI Downhill World Cup for junior men. Billy Pew leaves the start hut on that YT, turns hard right and sets off across the piste, and you can see how choppy that is up there, Nico.
Yeah, we've had a whole 3 days practice of riders coming in hot and braking in this soft grass, so it's gotten pretty rough.
And just across here as well, very easy. We've seen in the past on race day, people overriding this top section and getting bobbled offline.
It's tough because it's out in the open, so there's some wind blowing. It's hard to stay on your line, and you're riding it really fast with these big compressions in the trail.
Oh, Billy Pew absolutely detonates that right-hand berm on the way through the first of the tunnels.
He'll want that clip if anybody's got it.
Yeah, if anyone's got that clip, let Billy know on Instagram.
It's cool to see YT, one of the teams, putting junior development as a priority, helping riders like Billy here take them to the next level.
As he heads down through the stump section, you can see the names of previous Leogang winners immortalised on the stumps. Really cool little feature off the course as he heads into the famous route section, and some make or break stuff in there, Nico, but it's all about this, isn't it? That exit speed.
Yeah, it really is all about the exit. He's the first rider we've seen gap that stump in the women's, junior women's. We haven't seen anyone hit that line, but he looks to be styling the bike out. He looks comfortable.
Absolutely floats across there. Big old twist up from Billy Pew as he heads into this really fast rhythm section that you need to nail every single backside on the way through there, don't you?
You do. I mean, it generates speed, so you can drive the bike, use your weight and gravity to land these jump landings smoothly. Your bike accelerates without having to pedal it.
As he heads down into the tunnel where he'll then exit at huge speed onto the wall ride. Makes it across there, hard left. And then this corner is super, super tricky, this right-hander, Nico.
Yeah, it's a strange apex. It's not consistent, and it leads into this bridge, which is somewhat uphill, so it's really crucial to carry speed.
And here we go into the woods properly now. Things get a bit steeper through here. Perhaps not the most technical wood section we see in the year, but absolutely crucial in the context of this run because there is time to be made in here.
It is. I mean, it's not the most technical today in the conditions, but it has been in the past. And the margins are just going to be separated by less. So I think we'll see a smaller percentage between the riders, but every little bit counts.
And look, we saw how aggressive Bodie Burke was in the woods section in this race. In Dval, really, whenever things pointed downhill much steeper, Burke got going and got to work. Pew, though, on mark for a good benchmark time here. He's looked stylish and fast throughout.
He's looked comfortable, and the runs look clean, too. I haven't seen any mistakes, so it looks like it's going to be a good benchmark.
Here comes Billy Pew, then heads down towards this big finish line jump. And we'll get the YT2S down to the line. It goes into the hot seat, our first time of the day. Oh, yeah. 3:12. Woo! Apologies for any language there. Billy Pew, fairly excited about the whole thing, as you'd expect. Meanwhile, back at the top, Milo Rashier from France is now as far down as the woods as we rejoin his run live. Rashier, 2 seconds back at the first split, now 2.9, and gives you an idea, that run from Pew, it looked very clean, it looked very fast, and it seems to be stacking up against certainly the second rider we've seen.
Yeah, we haven't seen as much of this rider's run, but haven't seen many mistakes. He must have just been on the gas.
He was tight to that inside on the way down through there. The exit of the woods just beside the famous Hollywood drop of old. Rashier kicks the back end out, heads across the line. Second place, 1.897 back. Again, apologies if you heard any language there. Across the line. Next up, Cooper Norphy, the Australian, on the number 20 bike.
And I've seen this guy out in practice. I watched the B practice a lot with several of my riders in it, and he is always on the rev limit.
And what is it that you're looking for whenever you look at those B practices and you head out there with team members?
Mainly lines. They want to know which line's the fastest, how to execute it. A lot of times they just want confirmation that what they're doing is right. He's having extra eyes out there.
He's faster here by 0.4 of a second. Cooper Norphy, it was as much as 2.3 seconds at the second split. So the young Australian in a hurry heading towards the line. Norphy goes fastest by 1.7 seconds. Rolls the head a bit.
So it looks like he crushed the upper stump section. In that sector, he did really well, and then just managed it to the finish.
And that's just bring us back to that point I feel like we're going to be talking about all day. That stump section, not so much about making time in it, but carrying speed out of it as Stefan Hera for the Czech Republic leaves the start hut and gets straight to work. It's full chat right from the get-go in here, Leogang, isn't it? It's technical that top bit.
It is, and you're not going to win the race in that first section, but you might lose it. And it does set the tone for the rest of your run. As a rider, if you come out of the gate and crush the first section, it kind of puts you in a good rhythm for the rest of the track.
1.1 seconds back here for Hera, but how difficult, Nico, I'm guessing you can't replicate what a race run feels like in practice. How different is it?
I mean, there's pressure, there's nerves. You have one shot at it. Practice, you can mess something up and redo it. Race, you can't.
Hera down across the line then. The second place, 1.4 seconds back on the time of Cooper Norphy. Next up, though, big moment for this young man. Stan Nisbet from the Scottish borders. Aon Racing leaves the start hut. So brutally denied his first finals appearance last time in Ludenviel, but Nisbet, one of the big talents in the making, and he's 0.7 off a second faster at the third split, but he's gone back 5 seconds, so looks like there may have been a crash in there, and you can see dirt down his left-hand side. Here it is. Stan.
And this turn it's a big compression in the apex of the turn. It's a pretty narrow margin, and he just came in hot and slightly lost traction.
He did well to lose only 5 seconds in there. Let's see what he's managed to keep it to as he heads down towards the line. Nisbet crosses it. 5.7 seconds back into 5th place for Stan Nisbet.
So even after crashing, he managed the same margin to the bottom. It's often hard to put that behind you and even just mentally ride the same.
Yeah, that disappointment at Ludenviel as we see Zach Bradley leave the start hut. Came on his birthday as well, so it was really double, sort of triple bubble almost. Bradley, another Team High Country rider. See the bike skating out there, but he's 3.1 seconds faster as we rejoin the run live now at the 4th split. Zach Bradley.
Zach's a great rider. He's one of the guys I often send videos to of my riders, how to hit the lines. It's good to see him doing well here today.
Zach Bradley, we talked about Team High Country, really up on their level this season.
Coming from the Southern Hemisphere, too, a small team. It's awesome to see the success they're having.
Here comes Zach Bradley heading towards the hot seat, and Leogang crosses the line and goes fastest by 3.4 seconds with a 3:07.714.
So he really took the time down there.
Yep. Fastest time of the day yesterday went to Andy Kolb in Q2 with 3:01.1. Really interesting that Kolb got that time in the Q2 session as well.
I think there was a fire under him.
Yeah, there was maybe just a bit of a sighter on Omri Don then. This young man impressing a lot of people. Young Israeli making the long trip to Europe to race in the UCI World Cups.
We've seen a few riders out of Israel over the past few years. It's cool to see them making a mark on downhill.
Yeah, Noga Karem, the most famous of which.
When you have one good rider like she is, it can affect the next generation.
It's huge. I know Noga does a lot of work with mountain bike racing back in Israel. 0.8 of a second. Omri Don outside that time crosses the line. 1.3 seconds back in the end, but I mean, massive whip over the line. You should get some time back for that at least. That was huge.
The junior category loves a good whip. Just film that.
Here we go. UK national champion George Madley. We said it last week, but we'll say it again. Great to see this young man fit and healthy after Absolutely savage crash in Ludenville.
Yeah, it's awesome to see Atherton Racing giving him the support that he needs. He was a junior that was on the Madison Saracen team, was actually contracted to race this year. Their team dissolved, and he was able to find a ride here.
He's fastest, a split 4 here by 1.1. George Madley, the UK national champion. On that Atherton Racing Continental gearbox bike, Madley stands on the gas, heads down towards the finish line. Jump. Are we about to see a British rider go into the hot seat here in Austria? George Madley goes fastest by 1.2 seconds, 306.4. And is this that point now, Nico, where these times start to tumble?
Well, we're just about to break into the top 10, and I think that's going to heat up once we get to there.
Big run from Madley. We head back to the top. Next up, Marius Crenville from Switzerland. There's some big juniors these days as well, aren't there? Like there's a lot of big lads in there with big frames. 3.3 seconds back at the third split. 4 seconds now back at 4 for Crenville.
Coached by Emily Siegenthaler. She's helping a lot of the Swiss riders out.
Yeah, another country that's kind of been a bit of a sleeping giant in terms of international downhill, hasn't it?
They're making up for it in cross country.
Yeah, they're not bad at that. I'd give them that. Crenville really aggressive through there.
I think it just shows when you have one high-level rider like Nino, kids want to be like that, and it's been cross-country for Switzerland.
It's like watching G. Atherton a wee bit, watching Crenville with the elbows dipped right down, crosses the line, goes 4.8 seconds back in 5th place, but decent run from Crenville.
Respectable for sure.
Next up, we have Benny Dval, the Canadian.
Benny's one of our junior riders in the Future Frameworks program. This is his second year in junior, and he's really matured. Last year, he gained a lot of experience, and this year he's qualified for every race.
2.6 seconds back at split 4 for Dval so far.
Looks like he's on a good run. Tight times here.
Yeah, looks really comfortable, doesn't he? How is it working with those development, those young riders? Is it?
It's really gratifying. You know, they just a little bit goes a long way with them, and they really appreciate it. So when you see them make the most of it, it's pretty exciting.
Dval down towards the finish bowl. Third place, 2.5 seconds back. So that time with George Madley's looking pretty good so far. Some big hitters still to come.
Solid run for Benny.
It's all learning, isn't it, at this point in these young riders' career. Next up, we have Malik Boatright, another Team High Country rider, Kiwi.
And these guys from the Southern Hemisphere, they're over for the entire summer. If you live in Central Europe, this whole thing is a lot simpler than when you're coming from halfway around the world.
He's faster here by 0.05 of a second, Boatright as well. Can he get to that time of George Madley's?
And look at how tight those last 2 sectors were.
Yeah, there is. This is what we expected at the start of the day here in Leogang, that these times would all just start coming together towards the end of these races. Boatright pedaling his heart out, down there, heads into the finish bowl and goes fastest by 0.09 of a second. This is shaping up to be exactly what we thought it would be.
The Kiwi taking some inspiration from Sam Blinkensop over that last jump.
Yeah, got gloves on though. That seems to have disappeared, that Kiwi trend of no gloves.
I couldn't do it.
Rory M. Next up, the next Kiwi, fully gloved up.
His brother Toby's had a really good result here in the past.
Yeah, really talented family. Oh, Meek goes down. Curse the commentator, that's kind of what I alluded to earlier on. You can just override that sector slightly and lose your time. And talk us through it, Nico.
Yeah, it's another just compression here in a corner. So he's coming in, he's bottoming out the bike while he's trying to turn.
Oh, yeah.
Suspension unweights, it rebounds, and he loses grip at the front.
Heavy impact into that right shoulder as well. Managed to get both his feet unclipped.
Good to see him up on his feet.
Yeah, great, because that was a big impact. Taking nothing away from Rory Meek to get this one done. Made a stern stop.
Family support here too. Sometimes for a junior rider, the best team you can have is mom and dad.
Rory Meek crosses the line, 13.5 seconds back after a huge crash up top, but as you say, Great to see him all in one piece. Lucas Dodora, next rider up on a Frameworks racing machine.
Yeah, this is one of Ace's best buddies. They're always practicing together. Lucas is he's been looking really sharp this weekend.
You see Dodora over the big gap now. 1 second faster at split 4 for Dodora, so some of those Asa Verette vibes clearly rubbing off on the young man.
Whoa, guy, he's 1.0 seconds up. Everybody in New York's going to be stoked for him.
The weight of New York on his back. Lucas Dodora heads down towards the line. Is he going to go fastest in Leogang? Throws a big whip, crosses it, goes fastest by 7/10 of a second. Nearly takes the cameraman out as well. Nico Mullally nods his approval of that one. Happy with that?
Absolutely. I see how much these kids put into it, and when it comes together for them, it's pretty nice to see.
Next up in the start hut, though, Johny Williamson, first of 2 Yeti Fox riders. First of 2 Yeti Fox New Zealanders.
Well, it's really heating up now. Every rider from here through the end of the race is going to be firing.
Yeah, look, he's right in touch as well. Oh, just loses the front end. 1.1 back at split 4 for Williamson. We've seen a couple of those from him this season, just pushing so hard. Why not, Nico? It's finals at a UCI Downhill World Cup.
Yeah, you got to go for it on a track like this, especially. There's no room for hanging around.
Yeah, just knocked his timing out slightly. Williamson down through there, and what could have been.
He's a first-year junior, so this thing's all about gaining experience and building for next year.
Really stylish over that final jump. 1.4 seconds back in the end, and not much Williamson compared, given the fact he unclipped. What's this?
Saved that really nicely.
Yeah, I'd take that as a victory.
For sure.
Yeah, and avoided heading up onto that ledge as well, where we've seen Valentino Hall have problems in the past, and it can be tricky, that sector. Here we go, though. New Zealand national champion Tyler Waite for Yeti Fox.
Yeti always seems to find fast riders from New Zealand and Australia.
They always seem to find fast riders, don't they? I'm thinking of one, Aaron Gwynn in particular.
They do, and they do a really good job with their development program. They've got a clear pathway for riders to start out with. You know, if they show potential, they can get on top of a Yeti, and if they build on that, they'll move their way up in the ranks of the team.
Well, Tyler Waite is fastest here by nearly 6/10 of a second. He's been second at both rounds so far this season, so only has one more step to gain, but it's the toughest step of all as he heads into this steep route section.
And he missed most of last year with an injury, so for him to take this season off with 2 second-place finishes, that's really good for him.
Yeah, a man who does his sprint training with Richie Rude, so this motorway section will hold absolutely no fear whatsoever. 1.6 seconds at the second split. Tyler Waite makes that right-hand entry as wide as he can even before he enters the tunnel. Top 5 currently: Dodora, Boatright, Madley, Williamson, Bradley.
Don't know if doing your sprint training with Richie Rude would give you much confidence. That might be demoralizing.
Would make you hungry, I'll tell you that for free. Let's see what Waite can do at the third split then. Really nicely done through there. We've talked so much about that. Let's get him through the split. 1.8 seconds faster now for Tyler Waite. This one's looking good.
It might seem like a small margin to build 0.2 of a second, but across that motorway, that might be what it takes to win.
Waite jumps into the woods first.
He got a little more hung up than he needed to in that turn.
Yep, the New Zealand flag on his sleeve. Really nicely done through there. Got a nice straight line.
I think between the next riders we see, we're going to mix of high and low through that section.
Yeah, can be all important here in Leogang. Waite looking really good in the woods here. 1.3 seconds now, so he's lost some time, but he's still got over a second to play with. It is very Richie Rude-esque, isn't it? Big man, but riding very tidily and putting a lot of power back into the bike.
We see it so often when riders are together on a team, they start to emulate each other, and you see the style come out across the whole team.
Oh, back end drifts out on there, manages to get clipped back in, has to get on the pedals now.
I don't think that slowed him down. He recovered from that well.
Tyler Waite over the finish jump, really deep, goes fastest by 1.8 seconds. Just as we were talking about these times getting closer and closer, that's a huge margin all of a sudden.
Well, I got to step out, Rick. I got to go to the finish for my guy.
Go and do your day job. Nico Mullally heading towards the finish pole. to meet his charge. Asa Verette for Frameworks Racing 5 Dev. Damien Smith there congratulating Johny Williamson. And here he is. The man Nico Mullally is hot-footing to watch in the finish bowl. Asa Verette, the UCI downhill world champion in the junior men's category, leaves the start hut. This hasn't been his year so far. Can he right that here in Leogang this afternoon? Only raced here once before. Had to settle for 21st last season. One of his rare blips last time out, but Verette, 10th and a 5th so far in 2025, exits that route section absolutely superbly. He's nearly 6/10ths back though, but he's in touch on the motorway. Verette just skimming across that takeoff. Fastest sector times all weight, bar that sector 4 for Lucas Dodora so far then. Asa Verette in the white and rainbow stripes of the UCI World Champion on that Frameworks bike developed by Nico Mullally. As we get him towards the third split, there it is. Asa Verette's fastest by 0.586 seconds. Goes huge gaps across on the wall ride. Verette through this really choppy right-hander. Good entry into the woods. Pushes through that backside across the bridge, safe and sound. Where Stan Nisbet slid out earlier in the race. Verette in free fall now through the woods. That's that really nice entry over the left-hand side. Tyler Waite did so well in nailing, so Waite currently leads them. Then it's Dodora and Boatright. What's the 4 split going to tell us about that time of Verette? Mullally watches on. 1.2 seconds faster now for Asa Verette. Asa Verette finding time in the wood section here in Leogang. America has done so well here statistically thanks to the exploits of Aaron Gwynn, but is it going to have a new winner in the junior men's category? Asa Verette tucks down low behind the bars, across the finish line, jump. Asa Verette crosses the line and goes fastest by 1.8 seconds in Leogang. Just about gets the bike stopped and no more. Tyler Waite has to watch on. The wait continues for Tyler Waite, but it's all about this man this afternoon so far. Asa Verette kicks off the top 5 here in Leogang by going fastest. Look at this gap across onto that wall ride. Absolutely huge. Floated by both Verette and Jackson Goldstone yesterday. Till Orin, fastest qualifier in Ludenvale at the last round. Commensal muck off by Riding Addiction. Need a big result. Orin, as we're used to seeing with him, just doing things slightly differently. Entered the riders right down that really steep chute and seemed to work for him as he heads into the routes. 10th of a second back though at split 1, but this is the all-important exit on the motorway. And he's nearly a second faster, 9/10ths now. Till Orin still on the hunt for his first UCI Downhill World Cup win. His brother Max, second last to drop, has got a few for himself. Till wants one though. Max Allren's win. Commensal muck off by Riding Addictions only so far in 2025, back in Bielsko-Biała, so one of the biggest teams in the paddock. Needing the result here, Hickman, Orin and Clark are next to drop. He's moved back though, 8/10 slower now across the motorway. Orin's lost time up top, but he will be lightning through these woods. And goes well right now. That is interesting. He's the first rider we've seen do that. Holds that line beautifully across there. So let's find out if that is worth time. Till Orin having to lock the back wheel up slightly there to get the bike in the direction he wanted on corner exit. Orin, he's back to within a 10th and a half now. Really neatly done through there, working his knees, absolutely beautiful. Orin, not much more to go now. Just rattles a pole on his way through there, making the track as wide as he can. Bounces left, bounces right. Just this rut, and then the huge finish line jump to go for Till Orin. It's been back and forth on the splits all run long. What can the young Frenchman do for Commensal? Muck off by Riding Addiction. Goes second fastest by 0.8 of a second. Close but no cigar for Till Orin. The wait continues. Top three now. Verette, Wait, and Orin. Free to go. There's that line over to the right-hand side, which looked like it worked really well down through there. Didn't add up to a hot seat time for Orin. Give away some time up top, so positives and negatives to take out of that one for the young French rider. Next up, though, big qualifying performance from this man, Finland's Casper Hickman. Hickman, 0.3 of a second faster at split one. 6th place earlier on in the year in Bielsko-Biała, round one. 13th last time out in Ludenviel for the Finnish rider. Oh, just got bobbled slightly on those routes. 1.3 seconds faster, though, all of a sudden. Casper Hickman proving that there's plenty more time left in that top section on that time of Asa Verette. Verette not having it all his own way in 2025. In the hot seat for now, though. Hickman, another Cube factory racing rider. Can they go now 1-1 in the junior ranks after that win of Rosa Zierl earlier on this afternoon? It's been a while since we've had a fast spin on the top step with Matti Leokoinen. 0.7 of a second back, though, as he enters the woods. Let's see if he takes that right-hand line of Orin's on. Really fast entry speed there, Hickman. The track changes completely as you head into the woods, having been out in the wind for so long up top. Hickman going really well here, 1.6 seconds back though, so he's lost 0.9. Just running out of steam slightly in the woods. See how hard the bike's working through that really choppy section just before that. Right-hander. Hickman for Cube Factory Racing then. Looks to be on track for another really, really positive result in 2025. Goes 4th as it stands, 2.1 back, so burnt slightly too many candles too early. Hickman. Great run though. Getting better and better. You see how close to those pads they get, just skims it with his shoulder. 2 to go. Max Orin for Commensal, muck off by Riding Addiction in that green jersey of the overall points leader. Orin really alongside Verette. Such a dominant figure in this junior men's battle, but Ollie Clark from MS Racing went faster than both of them yesterday. Max Orin, absolutely stellar across that open section. Leogang Bike Park. What an amazing place to be. He's a second faster, Max Orin now. We saw Hickman gain 1.3 seconds at that first split on that time of Verette. So Verette has left some time at the top for the last two riders. The challenge Orin, all the way over to the riders right here. Rachel Affert and Aaron Gwynn's names ring out. Not bad company to be in. Max Orin doesn't have any time to appreciate it for now, though. Number 1 in the back of his jersey as he heads through that stump section. Really nicely done. This exit, all important. Super smooth, straight in left tuck position. 1.7 seconds into the green now for Max Orin. Needs to nail absolutely every inch of this rhythm section. Orin floats across the bridge, lands deep. Won't have cost him too much time. Bike's just skimming the ground through this section. Such is the speed involved. Orin. Let's get him in the next split then. So he's lost time, 0.6 of a second. Huge boost onto the wall ride. Exits it quite low into this really awkward right-hander now. Jumps the whole way in. Huge pull from Max Orin. Just about and no more. Jumps across there as well. Orin has some lines up here. Goes over to the rider's right as his brother did. It's all green so far for Max Orin. Commensal muck off by Riding Addiction. He's got their only win so far this season. Can he get him another one here this afternoon in Leogang? It's still faster that time. He's gained 0.02 of a second. One rider to go left at the top, Ollie Clark for MS Racing. On the zero for now, it's Max Orin on the Commensal, who's in the green, has been the whole way down, the man in the green jersey. Is he going to take the lead? And can he close in on his second UCI Downhill World Cup of the year so far? Orin goes fastest by 0.6 of a second. Asa Verette's win will have to wait a little bit longer. In 2025, the Rufan brothers celebrate that. What a young talent they have on their hands here. Max Orin. Fastest so far, green the whole way down for Orin. Watch this pull out onto the wall ride. And then cuts down low to generate a load of speed off of it. One to go at the top, and that man is currently leading it. Ollie Clark from New Zealand then for MS Racing. Leaves the star hop. Last man at the top, last man on the hill. Can he do anything about that time of Max Orin's? Clark on that gearbox bike with a belt drive. So much talk in the off-season, sneaks a couple of pedal strokes in before that apex marker. He's 0.3 of a second down at the first split. He's in touch though. He's got a race on his hands here if he wants to get ahead of Max Orin. Fastest sector times. Really a mix of Orins and Verette. Second split though, what's it going to tell us? Ollie Clark. 0.3 of a second, so he's held that gap to Max Orin. And it's going to need to be super precise through here and then super aggressive through the woods. If Clark wants to take his debut UCI Downhill World Cup win, it will be MS Racing's first since Eleonora Farina in Leger last year. Marcus Stuckel will be watching on at the bottom. Clark 1 second faster now as he heads into the woods. Clark into the green for the first time on this run on the number 9 bike. And this is where all the talk about Ollie Clark has been all weekend long, about how fast and aggressive he is in the woods. Floats across there, heads over to the rider's left-hand side, cuts right. Locks the back wheel slightly through there. The team can hardly watch. Lucas is there from MS Racing. Clark's 1.5 seconds faster at the fourth split here in Leogang. Max Orin sits in the hot seat, currently flanked by Asa Verette. Are they both about to get pushed down a notch here by Ollie Clark on the zero? The MS Racing rider has his first UCI Downhill World Cup win in his sights. Is he going to get the bike to the line in time? Ollie Clark crosses the line and goes fastest. Clark wins in Leogang by 6/10 of a second. MS Racing have their win. The Kiwi riders flood the finish bowl. Ollie Clark has won a UCI Downhill World Cup in the junior men's category. And what a reward for Marcus Stokel's MS Racing team and all the faith they've put in young riders this off-season. Ollie Clark, the big man from New Zealand, gets the job done. Marcus Stokel's there, who sees his team, who year after year come back to take on the big bike brands, the big corporations.